There's a lot of kids who struggle with motivation. We hear that all the time from the parents that we meet with. I hear like, my child just needs to try harder, or my child can do it, they're just choosing not to. But it's really important to understand, well, why is the child not motivated? Because what I see all the time is that, like, at a high level, most kids want to do well. Like, they actually want to get good grades, they want to perform well on tests, they want to get their homework in. But what winds up happening often, especially if there's cognitive skill weaknesses, which we'll talk about, is when it comes time to actually do the task, to get a good grade, to do well on the test, it's like, I don't want to do it. That's where the motivation issue happens, right? So why is that? Why is there this disconnect? Well, if something is too hard for us, human nature is to avoid it, whether we're 10 years old or 50 years old, right? And so what happens when there's cognitive skill weaknesses, and cognitive skills are skills like working memory, processing speed, reasoning, attention, those types of skills. What happens is when those skills are weak, it takes so much more mental effort for that child to complete an academic task or get through their school day, right? So think about this as an adult, right? Let's say you have a really hard day at work, just a ton going on, mentally exhausting day, and then you get home from work, and guess what? There's more work to do. Like, how motivated would you feel to get back at it and just get back into it again for another couple hours? You probably wouldn't, even though you might force yourself to. There'd be motivation issues. That's what's happening for kids who struggle with motivation, is it's often all they can do to get through the school day, and they're keeping it together during the school day. And then they get home and there's more. And it's just like, I hear from some teenagers, they get home from school, they have to take a nap before they can get to their homework. They have to decompress. They, have to have a snack. They just can't get to it. And it can turn into procrastination. And obviously that's motivation issues. And that can be frustrating as a parent. So it also can become learned helplessness. So when kids have low cognitive skills, it also means that they often struggle to complete tasks correctly. Like, if reasoning is not a strength, well, doing a word problem is really hard for them. And they often aren't successful. And so repeated failure then becomes this like self-fulfilling, I can't do it, a learned behavior. How do you overcome that? The key is to actually give kids the skills to make school easier. So in fact, we have peer-reviewed research published in Frontiers in Education that is some of my favorite research. It actually shows that over time, as kids get older and they're struggling with motivation, academic difficulty increases and oppositional behavior increases. That's the baseline. If you just do stay with normal school or tutoring and those types of things. However, students who go through our training, where they're strengthening attention and memory and processing and reading and all of those skills to make learning easier, we find the opposite, right? That over time, academic difficulty lessens, oppositional behavior lessens, which also means motivation is stronger. We obviously can't get in a child's mind and say, you need to be more motivated. The best we try to, but we can't do that, right? But almost always when a student completes our program, and I encourage you to go read our reviews, Google reviews, almost all of those talk about improved motivation, greater ability to persevere through hard tasks. And it's because we're making the task easier by getting to the root cause of why it's hard in the first place and unlocking their ability to learn. And now they want to do well and they have the ability to do well. And that's where you want them to be.